Do you want to see a rematch of this fight?
No, because it was a as a fighter, as a former champion. If the first time he handled Canelo so easily, the second time is going to be even easier. I don't want to see it because there was no exciting moments that give you a what if. Canelo never had any momentum built his way. He never dropped them. He never cut him. He never had Crawford weary at any point. There was confidence in the eye of Crawford the entire time. There was long range pot shotting and there was close range catching and countering. So even though Crawford had the reach advantage, he had a lot of advantages, foot speed and everything. He also outfought Canelo. So what is Canelo going to do the second time around? Just get more aggressive and run into more shots? I don't want to see this fight again. I don't think a lot of people want to see this fight again. I don't think Netflix will want to pay for this fight again. I don't think every single person, that record-breaking crowd, it was an incredible atmosphere. You won't have an incredible atmosphere the second time around if it's a
Yeah,
rematch.
you would. Yeah, you
No,
would. Come on.
it'll have to be at a smaller arena because people already saw Canelo get dominated by the better fighter, and the better fighter will do it again, even easier and with more confidence.
Yeah, but you hold on, hold on. You keep
Hold
saying
on,
this.
hold on, hold up, hold up. Canelo, I don't see this is the thing about Canelo. He sometimes relies on the environment, the hostile crowd, uh, to also help him win this fight. Not only with the judges, but with the opponent. Crawford even handled that. You can't prepare for that magnitude, the roar of the crowd, the lights, everyone booing you. You can't prepare for that. Crawford was ready for that. Even his ring entrance when he came in with that guitar case, it was man. I That's one of my all-time favorite entrances.
Desperado. Yeah, it's an homage to Desperado. Yeah.
Actually, it was mariachi. That was part
Oh,
one. Desperado was part two. That right there, it was me against the world. That was his mentality. Me against all these Mexicans. Me against Canelo in Las Vegas. Me against Canelo and the judges that he probably has in his pocket. Me against everyone, and Bud shut everyone up. And you think
yeah, but
Canelo's
hold
gonna
on,
have
hold on.
Canelo's gonna be able to do it the second time around?
I don't know. I don't think it's an open and shut case as you do. Let me ask you. Let me put it to you this way: after Canelo Golovkin won, which finished in a draw, which most people thought Golovkin won, like there was widely viewed as a robbery in Las Vegas. That was one of the first times, not the first time, but one of the first times everybody said, "Well, Canelo is a Las Vegas house fighter." After Canelo Golovkin won, did you think Canelo was going to win the rematch?
Yes.
No, you didn't. You're a liar. You're a liar. You didn't think he was going to win the rematch. After Canelo Golovkin won, which in between came the Canelo positive drug test, you thought Canelo was going to win the rematch against Gennady Golovkin.
I was there at the first fight and watching it live. I had Canelo winning. Then when I went back and my trainer was telling me, "You're crazy. Golovkin's jab was a key. It was a
It
power jab."
was.
Then I watched it on tape and I was wrong. Golovkin won that first fight. All right. So then the second.
Yeah, and what, hold on. The Canelo in the second fight made a big adjustment. Instead of letting Golovkin dictate the pace of the fight, he took the fight to Golovkin. He backed him up. All that talk that Golovkin and Abel Sanchez did during fight week saying, fight like a Mexican, fight like a Mexican, he did. He fought like a Mexican. He stepped to Golovkin. He stepped to the boogeyman at 160, and he won that fight fair and square. It's a different set of circumstances, but just this past weekend, Paddy Donovan, Lewis Crocker, both you and I were like, Donovan, easy. Donovan, knockout. Lewis Crocker goes out, fights a completely different fight they did the first time around, flusters Paddy Donovan, knocks him down 2 times, and wins the welterweight championship. My point is that Canelo is an incredibly smart fighter. Eddie Reynoso is an incredibly smart trainer. If they do a rematch, they're not going to have the same game plan. They've got 12 rounds of information now to study on Terence Crawford. Now, maybe that won't mean anything, Sergio. Maybe it means nothing. Maybe Crawford will also go back into the lab, find new ways to attack Canelo. Maybe Canelo's, this is just a fact of life. Canelo's too old and can't pull the trigger on some of these shots anymore. But I promise you, if they do this again, Canelo's going to have a new game plan against Terence Crawford. And I'm not ready to say that game plan won't be successful, especially when by the time this fight rolls around, Crawford would be 38 plus, almost at 39. And what are you doing? What is your problem?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was waiting for you to stop talking because you sound as confident and as ignorant as you did just a few days ago when
You're an
you were
idiot.
saying there's no way he wins this fight. He's moving up 14 pounds, coming up from lightweight. Crawford's gonna this. Canelo's gonna do this. Crawford can't do that. And you were dead wrong. And you're admitting that you were wrong right here.
I said I was wrong. Hold on. I said I was
You
wrong.
sound so
No, you
confident
start to
saying
snore
that
into the microphone. It's my
Canelo's
turn.
gonna find a bag of tricks at 35 years old already. No. If he was maybe 25, then I would agree. But he has too much wear and tear. His feet have been heavy from the beginning of his career. How
They
heavy
have.
they are now at 35? The head movement is not there. The confidence is not there. He's an older fighter. He's diminishing. He's been.
So isn't Crawford. He's not diminishing, but he's also an older fighter. I'm just saying, if it happens next May, Cinco de Mayo weekend, when Crawford's 38, Canelo, I think, will be 36 at that point or close to it. There's a lot of variables that are out there that can make that fight more interesting than you seem to think it is. I can't believe you're so dismissive of Canelo's chances of making adjustments, of doing things differently, because he's made adjustments all throughout the course of his career. He made adjustments after that Golovkin fight. He made adjustments when he first started to fade. Remember the Jacob stuff that you were talking about? All the head movement, that's what defined him defensively. Later in his career, he was parrying more. He was walking through some of those shots and not being anywhere near as elusive. I just think if they did it again, there's going to be significant adjustments that Canelo's going to make that are probably going to make him more competitive in that fight. Granted, I'm not picking him to win. I wouldn't pick him to win after that performance on Saturday. But the idea that this is like, why bother because it's going to be the same thing all over again is ridiculous. Because, Sergio, tell me now, if you don't want to see Canelo-Crawford 2, who the hell do you want to see them in against? Who do you want to see these two guys fight? Crawford made it clear he's not going down to 154 pounds. He's not going to fight Boots Ennis. He's not going to fight Virgil Ortiz. He's not going that direction. He's also not going to 175. So put away your dreams of David Benavidez or Dimitri Bivol or all those guys. Could he go down to 160? Yeah, but does anybody outside of like Janabek's family want to see Crawford in with Janabek at 160 pounds? Unlikely. So unless you have a better option for Crawford, who says he's not retiring, he's not done with boxing, nor should he be. He's just starting to get some of the paydays that he's been looking for. Unless you have a better option, don't poo-poo the rematch between Crawford and Canelo.
I do have a better option, Chris Eubank Jr. All right, because Canelo's always wanted to fight in the UK, and
This is
Jr.
Crawford
is
I'm talking
a
about.
super
Crawford,
middleweight.
I'm talking Crawford here. You said Canelo.
Crawford. Crawford, he's not going to be going down lower than 160. So I think Crawford could pick up a strap against an older champion right now, Erislandy Lara.
Oh, yeah, that's a super fight. That's huge.
To
Huge.
become a 6th division world champion?
Huge fight. Huge
Come
fight.
on, man. So
Huge fight.
I think you got to be
Amazing fight. Please, can I get my tickets now? Can I buy them now? Where do I buy them? Where can I put my money down to buy Crawford Erislandy Lara tickets?
If you Terrence Crawford, that $50 million that he make, he's never going to make that again.
He wouldn't a rematch.
He still probably won't. Well, maybe the rematch, yeah. But people are really going to pay for that rematch?
I think somebody would. Look, I think
Canelo really going to put up all that money. He put out another $100 million to pay Canelo, $50 million to play.
No, I'm sure there are going to be. I mean,
No,
I'm
they're
not
not
sure of
gonna do
anything.
that. I mean-
no, but look, Canelo has, by all the reporting, 2 fights left on his deal with the Saudis. Crawford is part of a long-term agreement with the Saudis. So these guys are going to get fights, and they're going to get huge paydays for it. If you're going to sit there and tell me that Crawford Erislandy Lara is more interesting than a Crawford Canelo rematch, go to bed. Go to bed and stop talking about boxing.
I didn't say more interesting. I said it makes more sense to pick up another championship and
Who
be forever
cares?
known
Why does
as
he's
a
forever known? He is a
world champion.
Who gives a damn? He is a 3-time undisputed champion, 4-belt era. No man has ever done that. That's legacy. He doesn't need a legacy.
Mannix, you're going to be in the company of Thomas Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Pacquiao, and Bud Crawford.
It's already
Come
in that
on.
company.
And that's what you want in the history books as well. The names that you're associated with. Bud Crawford right now is incredible. Yes, in the 4-belt era, three-time undisputed. Incredible. Yes. But what are the names that you could attach those to? You have Errol Spence Jr. with an asterisk because of the car accident. And now Canelo at 35 years old with he fought an older Canelo, but still undisputed. Yeah. I just think accolades and building that resume is going to look better in the long run. He's already a Hall of Famer, but now we're talking about all-time great. Forget last 20 years, or forget this era great, all-time great, Roberto Duran great. I'm talking about Hank Armstrong great. I'm talking about Ali great, Sugar Ray Robinson great. That's where Terrence Crawford is headed if he continues building his resume and picking up championships in different divisions.
Terrence Crawford would put the kind of beating on Erislandy Lara that Erislandy Lara would never forget. Never. Erislandy Lara is not the Erislandy Lara that fought Canelo back in 2014. He is a pocket fighter now, a guy that wants to bang it out, and maybe it would be entertaining, but I don't know who's putting up real cash for that fight, and I don't think it matters one bit if Canelo collects a belt at 160 pounds. I want to see the rematch because I want to see if Canelo, every time Canelo has lost or looked bad, he has come back and looked magnificent. Yes, it's different now, but he lost to Floyd Mayweather, and then he came back, it was one fight or two fights later, and beat Erislandy Lara in what was the signature win at that time of his career. He had the draw against Golovkin, and then he came back and beat Golovkin. Against Dimitri Bivol, he bounced back and looked good over the next 3 years. Let's see what he's got. Let's see if the old man has one more run left in him. If he can summon the greatness once again. I think that's worth the price of a ticket. That's worth the price of a Netflix account, of a pay-per-view, whatever it may be. I want to see these two guys